Hey, welcome to This Mama's House. Today we're talking about homeschooling. Hey guys, my name is Tabitha. If you are new to my channel, welcome. On this channel, I typically post homemaking videos and mom life content, and this today will be my very first homeschooling video. I asked you guys on Instagram and on my community tab if you wanted to see homeschooling content on this channel, and the majority of people said yes. So that is why we are here today. And as you can tell by the title, I am going to tell you why I started homeschooling. So I am in my 8th year homeschooling. I actually thought it was my 7th year, but I counted back and this is going to be my 8th year homeschooling. I can't believe it. But I'm really excited to be able to share what I know about homeschooling and maybe learn from other moms that watch my channel that homeschool, because this is a community and we all are helping each other out. I'm not like the expert telling you what to do. I love reading your comments and hearing from other moms about how they do things too. So today I'm going to share why I homeschool, and this is actually the start of a series here on this channel. I'm going to be posting a ton of homeschooling content for the next 2 weeks. It's going to be a back to homeschool series, and I'm going to try my very best to post every single day for 2 weeks. I have a lot to share and I want to get it all out there and try to help you guys out, because I know a lot of people are starting their first year of homeschooling because of all the craziness that's been going on in the world. A lot of parents are deciding to keep their kids home, and I think it's a great idea, obviously, because that's what I do too. So if you are new here and you are excited for the homeschooling content, definitely subscribe. Also, give this video a thumbs up. It helps me a lot just to know that you guys like this content, and it helps YouTube share it to more people. So I would love if you give this video a thumbs up. But let's get into the reasons why I chose to homeschool. So back 8 years ago, when I decided to start this homeschooling journey, my number one reason why I wanted to homeschool was because I wanted to spend more time with my kids. It sounds so simple, but that's literally what I tell people when they ask me, why do you homeschool? Because I want to be with my kids. I want to spend time with my kids. Back when I had my first child, I was actually a single mom and I was going to college. So I would drop my baby off starting when she was 3 months old at daycare so that I could go to class. And it was so hard for me to do that. I felt so wrong. It didn't feel right to drop her off to be cared for by somebody else. She would cry and I had no idea what she was doing throughout the day, and she was just a tiny little baby and she was in the hands of somebody else all day long, and it just felt so wrong. I even remember sometimes I would skip class just so that I could spend the day with her and not have to drop her off with somebody else. And let me tell you, the college daycare that I was dropping her off at was really, really good. It had high ratings. I mean, it was a great daycare, but it just wasn't my motherly instincts to leave her all day long. When she was 3 years old and she was ready for preschool, I decided that I was going to do preschool with her at home. I didn't have to work. I was able to be a stay-at-home mom, which I was so grateful for, and I decided that I wanted to homeschool her, and I've been doing it ever since. In the beginning, my goal was always, well, I'm going to take it 1 year at a time, and now I'm like, I'm doing this. I am in it for the long haul. So having 5 kids now, I just realize how fast they grow up and how short this time is that I'm able to help educate them, inform them, and teach them things. And pretty soon they're going to be off living on their own. So I just want to spend as much time as possible with my kids, and that is my number one reason for homeschooling. Another huge reason that I homeschool is because it's more of a personalized education. I am able to pick a curriculum that goes really well with my child's learning style and the way that they learn best. And if something's not working, we can totally change it up. Whereas if you're sending your kid to public school, they are going to do the same math book that everyone in the class is using, and they're not going to be able to switch it up. If it's not working for them, if they don't understand that certain way of teaching, They can't just switch up the curriculum and teach your kid something totally different than the rest of the classroom. So that is why I love homeschooling, and one of the biggest reasons why I chose to homeschool is because it's very personalized to my student. Also, like some of my kids have to be moving while they're learning. Like one of my kids just wants to stand up while we're talking about stuff, or if I'm reading something out loud, they want to be doodling. This is something that at a public school, they're not really going to take into consideration. You can also teach your child based on their interests. So maybe the book that they're reading at the public school, your kid thinks is boring and they don't care about it and they have no interest in reading it, but they have to read it because that's part of the curriculum. Whereas when you're at home, you can just pick a new book. It's literally that simple. You get to personalize your kids' education completely to them. The third biggest reason why I wanted to homeschool my child is to instill morals and life skills into them. So when I was in school, there was a lot of things that I need to know as an adult that I didn't learn back then from my public school. Things like how to vote, how to write a check, how to sew, how to cook and clean and manage my household, and how to pay a bill. Like all those things I was never taught at school. I know certain schools you can do home ec or whatever, but it's just not something that they teach to everyone. And I think it's so important for kids to know how to do those things, how to do their laundry and how to wash the dishes. Like these are things they're gonna have to know. And if they're at school all day just learning how to ace a test, they're not going to be learning those life skills that they're going to need as soon as they move out of your house. And what better way to teach them is doing it at home together and learning from their parent. So those are the three biggest reasons why I chose to homeschool in the first place. If this is your first year homeschooling, leave me a comment down below. Why did you decide to homeschool? What is your biggest reason? And I know a lot of people are choosing to homeschool because of the current times in our country, and maybe you feel like you were kind of forced into it, but I just want to give you encouragement and just let you know that you are doing something so amazing for your kid, and maybe this is just God's little nudge of something that He wanted you to do anyways. Over the course of 8 years, I have come up with more reasons why I love homeschooling. So one of my videos in this series is going to be my homeschooling pros and cons, just all the reasons why I love homeschooling, and maybe some of the things that I've still struggled with even after 8 years. So definitely subscribe so that you can see when I post that video, and turn the bell on because you never know when it's going to go up. With 5 kids, editing and uploading, I do my best, so I never know like a specific time. So just make sure you have that bell on so you get notified when that video does go up. But thanks so much for watching today's video, guys. We will see you in the next one. Bye!